Before I put a for sale sign in your front yard or put your home on the MLS, I want you to do a couple of things. Stick around, because if you're thinking about selling your home, doing these things is going to be the difference between you making some money or you leaving money on the table. So the first thing I have my sellers do is a pest inspection. Now sometimes sellers say, Tom, I don't want to pay for a pest inspection. Let the buyer do the inspections. But if you don't cover it, I'm going to cover it, because I'm going to have my inspector come out there, go under your house, maybe up in the attic, around the outside, looking for any dry rot or any issues around the eaves. This way you're going to know. Because I guarantee you, a buyer is going to do a pest inspection. And you don't want them coming back and say, look what we found, Tom. We found some termites. We found some dry rot around your roof. We need about $10,000 to take care of it. You don't want any surprises from the buyer. And I want to know what I'm selling. So we're going to do a pest inspection. Now all sellers are self-dealing. Right or wrong, that's just the way it is. Sellers want as much money as they can get for their house. Now, so the next thing I'm going to do and have my sellers do is think about their curb appeal. Now, if you have a lot of dead grass in the front and dying bushes, and your front doesn't look too good from the curb, buyers aren't even going to come in. They're just going to drive right by. Now, you may have a good-looking house inside, but if you don't have curb appeal from the outside and we can't get buyers in, we're not going to be able to sell it to them. So we have to think about curb appeal. It doesn't have to be great, but it has to look nice from the curb so that we can get buyers in. Now the third thing I'm going to work with my sellers on, and these have to be done correctly, is their disclosures. Now disclosures are what you know about the house that you're submitting to the buyer. You're saying this, any issues, any problems, you have to tell the buyer what you know about the house. Now I did a whole video on disclosures a while back, but they're very important. Now, they say lawsuits come 3 to 5 years after closing. So let's say you've sold your house, moved on, got another house, and all of a sudden the buyer says, wait a minute, the solar panels on the roof aren't putting out enough power. My seller knew they weren't putting out power, so he didn't tell me. Now I got to pay $10,000 to get them repaired. So then you get maybe a lawsuit put against you for $10,000 for the solar panels. You have to disclose what you know about your home, and you have to take your time, fill them out correctly, and be honest. Disclosures are important. The last thing I'm going to stress to my sellers about selling their home is availability. Now you have to make your home available to the buyers. Now sometimes sellers say, Tom, I need like a 24-hour notice before I can show my home. Well, you know, I would say it's not really a good idea to do that, because when buyers want to see your home when they want to see it. So I know it can be stressful sometimes to keep your home up and keep it ready to go all the time for buyers, but you never know when an agent is going to bring a buyer by. And that buyer, he may be the one who wants to write the offer. Now, if for some reason he doesn't get into your home, he may go down to the next house, see it, and make an offer on that, not even looking at your home. Availability, you have to think ahead of time. Okay, how am I going to make my house available? How are we going to be ready all the time when a buyer wants to come and see it? You have to make your home available for buyers when they want to come. Selling your home is one of the biggest financial decisions you're ever going to have to make. You deserve an agent who has a real plan, not just a lockbox and a Zillow post. You deserve an agent who's going to take a little time and prep ahead of time to make sure the transaction goes smoothly. This is simple selling. This is just, like I say, putting a few things in place ahead of time so that your transaction can run smooth, the buyer doesn't have any questions. I believe in giving the buyer as much information as possible. This is going to make them very comfortable when they walk through your door. So if you're thinking about selling your home in Vacaville, even if it's 6 months away, give me a call. I'll sit down with you and tell you exactly what your home is worth, and I'll tell you about the plan I'm going to use to put in place to get you the most money for your home. Here's my contact information. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and that subscribe button, and drop me a comment. Tom Arnold, RE/MAX Realty.